Hi, I'm I'm somebody you don't know. If you know me, you should be afraid. Be very afraid. But anyway, no. In fact, I'm an employee of the CIA. I work for the CIA. I was hired almost 3 years. I've been working since October 5th of 2009. That's when I was hired by the CIA. It's been a very rewarding job in a lot of respects. The only thing is my status. I like to say status, not my status. My status as an operations officer. It puts me in the category of having a non-official cover. That is, think of Mission Impossible. When Phelps is told about his assignment, he says the secretary will disavow any knowledge of your activities. So what happens is the CIA cannot acknowledge that I even work for them. That means I have no official status with them, no official status, no official cover. If I did have official cover, then I would be like a station chief or a field agent. But I'd have an official status. They would acknowledge that I worked for them if push come to shove. But that's not true with me because I'm relatively new, and they like newcomers to fill the role of being Knox. That's what I am, a knock. So anyway, and also the fact that I'm a knock means I can work in the United States. Normally, the CIA does not acknowledge that they even have anybody working in the field in the United States. That's actually prohibited by law. But since us, the knocks, we have no official cover, therefore we can work because we're not really, technically we're invisible. We have no status at all. But anyway, I do work to look for threats to the United States and allied nations. And I work every day. Every day I'm always on the alert for something that might crop up. I make sure I stay informed. It requires me to use the internet and have access to other sources. The most important sources are actually the sources that lie deeply hidden, sort of underground. That's why when I walk the streets of Seattle, where I'm currently at, I'm in a tunnel. But yet, the other side, our adversaries, they know that I work for the CIA, even though the CIA will not acknowledge that I do work for them. And they surveil me, and I surveil them. And there's an incident called the Berlin Tunnel. And what happened was the English, that is the Brits, found a way to tunnel under the East German embassy and tap their cable lines. This is called the Berlin Tunnel. And then it turns out that the East Germans, their intelligence organizations, knew that the UK had tapped into their cable system, their telephone system, even their secure landline system, and they were able to give the UK false information. But then we became aware of this, or the Brits did. But the thing is, it worked out okay because we knew what they were doing and they knew what we were doing. We could give them false information because they thought we didn't know that we were being given false information. So we gave them false information, or the Brits did, but the CIA did too. So here's the thing. In a way, I'm like a walking Berlin Tunnel. I'm known. I'm a known operations officer. I'm a known employee of the CIA. And in a way, every time I do anything, I'm constantly watched, surveilled, watched closely. My computer is constantly probed by the other side, mostly by what I have characterized as the unknown terror network. It's not really Al Qaeda, though it does have that flavor. But they constantly probe, they constantly watch my activities, like they're watching what I'm doing now. They're going to listen to what I'm saying. They're listening right now what I'm saying. They watch my email. They listen to my email. Every single corpuscle of information that emanates from my mind, from my behavior, even my body language, they see. But then so does my case officer and my handlers and my fellow operations officers, field agents. So it's like a giant game, but it's serious because people die, people get hurt. I'm constantly being, I guess you'd say, tormented. My performance degraded because of the tactics the other side uses. Oh, look, there's a train. And that's a streetcar. I love the streetcar, don't you? Look, the streetcar. Isn't that nice? So anyway, and there's so many that have joined the other side. I mean, the unknown terror network. I mean, incredible numbers, mostly due to, just greed. I mean, the greed is what motivates them, and I think I would say malice and evil. They want chaos. They want hurt. They want pain. They want everything. Every normal instinct is turned upside down with them. I mean, every normal human instinct has been replaced by utter perversion. Well, now speaking of perversions, on occasion, and then that has been true recently, and actually today, which is of course July 15th, 2012. Today, in a public place, I noticed that there was an attempt to probably kidnap someone using probably some kind of prescription drug or illegal drug that they use to basically kind of put her in a state of confusion, and they would have kidnapped her and killed her, and they would have done so in a way that gives them maximum profit. But they were already in the process of making her ready for their use. Now, one thing that I really, really despise are pedophiles. I really despise pedophiles. I really despise people that enslave people and then use people and then kill people for profit. And anyway, when I see something like that happening, like I did today, my instinct is to find a way to get the information to the local police or whatever authority, whatever law enforcement agency would be suitable in that occasion. Sometimes it might be the FBI, it might be, the Seattle PD, could be anybody. But it could even be the Department of Homeland Security on occasion. But if that were true, then I'd probably go right up to my case officer and provide her with the information, and she would relay that to the Director of Central Intelligence, that is General David Petraeus. But I have to be careful because I'm not really law enforcement. I mean, I'm not the police. My role is to act as an intelligence officer, to gain sources, locate methods, if possible, disrupt activities of organizations that would create great and terrible harm to the United States and allied governments. So when I see a threat, I generate a report and I send it via different methods, not always the same. I try to vary my methods, my way I communicate. But anyway, so I'm really torn by, sometimes by like a situation where a person, just your average person, your John Doe or your Jane Doe, would probably be killed or hurt, or some terrible thing would happen to them because she was a target. But the question is, should I, on those occasions, report that in some form or fashion? Which I've actually developed methods to do that to the law enforcement, or should I just say that's really none of my business, or I'm not really sure about this? What's the proper thing to do? Well, I try to err on the side of doing good. I don't want to neglect to do the good just because I want to play it safe. If anything, my life is very dangerous, extremely dangerous. In fact, when I was at church today, I'm a Catholic. Now, being a Catholic and then saying you're the devil is kind of like, it's strange. Let's put it that way. There's no other way to say it. So here I am. I'm a Catholic. I'm a Roman Catholic. I've been baptized. Had First Communion and everything, and yet I am Satan. And so basically, Satan is in the Catholic Church right now, or has been since I think 2010. Was it 2009? Anyway. Probably 2000, no, I think 2010. Yeah, anyway, no, strike that. Probably 2009. Anyway, I kind of vacillate. It could have been 2011. But my status as Satan does not affect my work as an operations officer. I still am able to do that. In fact, that's sometimes an advantage, because I can evoke my relationship with witches, and then I can ask witches for aid under certain circumstances when I feel like I have no other option but to get their help, which I appreciate their help. One time I made a video saying if it was possible, I would like to not have intercourse with all the witches of the world, but basically marry them, have a ceremony. But if I did so, they'd all burst into flame. That's what the Lord says. You cannot consort with witches lest they blow up. They burst into flame. So that's it. But I was able, I think, to save a woman today from a fate that, would have been terrible. It would have been terrible. She would have been horribly tortured, and it would have been filmed, and then she would have died. And then there would have been such egregious things that I cannot even describe. But fortunately, this woman is street smart, and she picked up on what was happening. I think because I was trying to hint that she was not in a good place, and then she was suffering from probably a drug dose that someone had slipped her, and so I think she escaped. She lived to fight another day. So she's a pure soul in my book. These things, they want to destroy the pure and promote the evil, promote the wicked. And the witches aren't wicked necessarily. In fact, I think witches, in some sense, are one of the most beautiful, incredibly wonderful thing about the universe. And they do have an affinity for me, the devil. But that's neither here nor there. So I got this video's too